Hey guys, and welcome to what may be my last Diamond Select Avatar The Last Airbender review. I don't know if they're going to continue after this wave. I mean, we've had like, what, 4 waves before this? This is wave 5, so I don't know if we're going to get any more, because McFarlane's going to be taking up the mantle. I've got all those McFarlane figures on pre-order. They were supposed to come out by now, but they have not, so I'll get those when I get those, and I'm looking forward to doing a big old review on all of that first wave. But for Diamond Select Wave, I think this is Wave 5. Wave 1 had Katara. Wave 2 had like Azula. Wave 3 had like Toph and like, maybe this is just Wave 4. Maybe this is just the 4th wave. Oh my goodness, this line did not last too long, now did it? It's either Wave 4 or 5, I don't remember. But yes, at least we finished off with Sokka, and at least we have Final Battle Aang to go with Fire Lord Ozai. So if this is the end of the line, it's pretty coherent and cohesive. We unfortunately didn't get a Book 1 Zuko. That would have been great. But other than that, though, I think we did good. We got tons of different Aangs, though. Oh my goodness. This is... How many Aangs do we get? We got, what, Walgreens Aang, and then a normal Aang, then Walgreens Aang, then normal Aang, then Spirit Aang. This is the 6th Aang from this line. Oh my goodness. 6 Aangs. This whole line is probably like half Aangs, I swear. But honestly, this is a really cool Aang, and I'm happy that they made this. And Sokka, come on, we needed Sokka. It's Sokka. Let's talk about Sokka first, because there isn't as much to talk about with Sokka. So he comes with the standard base, which is nice. He actually comes with this base. That is really cool. This is the first time that they come with not only that base, but also the icky, gross Diamond Select articulated base that I really don't like. I just really don't like these. I try to avoid using them as much as I can, but for some figures like this Aang, you gotta use it. But he also comes with some hands. Here, let's get him back on that base, because these figures, they don't like standing too much on their own, and even then with the bases, sometimes they're a little iffy. So he's currently with an open hand for his right hand and a gripping hand for his left. But we do have 2 fists, so he can punch things. That's useful. And then you have the alternates. So you have a gripping hand for the right and an open hand for the left. So you got those alternates. And, of course, because it's Sokka, gotta have his boomerang. And it's accurate. It's got the holes in it. It's got, like, the white trimming. It's really good. And you can just slide it into the holster here on his back. You can see it is kind of, like, pinching in on itself. So you want to make sure you put it in on a part that's opened up. And you can actually see, I don't know if you can see this, it's really hard to get at. I'm not going to push it in all the way. You can actually see how like the plastic is pushing on to the holster when it's going in. So keep that in mind. Just have him hold it. Just have him hold it. And then you do have his knife too. So that's really cool. He's got his little knife back there. And you can see they opted to use like real string for his straps. And that's kind of cool, but I feel like it's kind of too small. It's not thin and prominent enough. Or it's too thin. It's not prominent enough. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of a neat touch, but also I don't feel like there's enough there. But he does actually come with some effect parts. All of these figures come with effect parts. And awesomely, Sokka is no exception, even though his effects are not that great. I'm sorry. So he has a spinning boomerang, and unfortunately they didn't paint any of the boomerangs. So it almost looks like an airbending effect. And it has a hole in it so you can plug it into the base. And, I mean, I guess you can use it. You can have it look like it's spinning, but honestly, I don't think it looks that good because they didn't paint any of the boomerangs. I'm not going to be using that. Then the other effect is this one, where the boomerang is like being thrown. And again, they didn't paint it. So it just looks like a bending effect because you can't clearly see that the boomerang's there. So again, unfortunately, probably not going to use this. But it does have a hole you can use it with. I don't know, man. It looks more like bending effects. It looks really weird giving this to Sokka. Like here, just pretend he's not holding the boomerang already. And like having him, it looks like a bending effect, man. It looks weird, and it's really big, too. It's such a shelf hog. But all those accessories out of the way, the Sokka figure is not bad. These Diamond Select figures I don't think any of them have ever been like, whoa, this figure's really awesome. At best, they've been, that's pretty good. So yeah, this Sokka is no exception. I did actually have to modify it, though. You can see his skirt. It was actually connected up there. And I cut it more so you can actually get more range of articulation. Because before you cut it, you couldn't really move his legs too much. So I cut it, and now you can actually move his legs pretty far, which is nice. You can actually move his legs. So I don't know why they didn't just cut it up all the way. It's the choices that they made. These figures have always had really weird elbows, too. Like, look at how tiny that hinge is. And, I mean, you still get 90 degrees out of them, so they're not bad. But still, like, it's just such a small little joint up in there. It's pretty worrisome. And then this, it just keeps wanting to float up. So, again, I personally wouldn't have gone with that. And then his shoulders, like, he's got good range. On paper, he's got good articulation. He's got that classic Diamond Select squeaking, though, because, like, the entire surface is painted. But he's got good knees. He's got a thigh swivel. He can move his legs out pretty good, especially if you make that cut. Just make that cut, man. You'll thank me later. And then his ankles, you can move them up and down, a little bit of pivot. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad Sokka, and I really like the head sculpt. It does look a little too mature for me. I feel like the head's just a little too mature looking. I feel like it just needs a little bit more playfulness. But honestly, it could be worse. And let's get into that. So, of course, before Diamond Select threw their hat in the ring and has been making Avatar figures, there was Mattel. And Mattel made a Sokka. Excuse his skirt, he's been permanently sitting on my Appa, so, you know, it's kind of gone up. But Mattel's Sokka, you can see they're about the same size. That was a sneeze. Don't know why that happened. But yeah, you can see they're about the same size, about the same scale. Just a slight difference. You can see this is baby-faced. The Mattel one's baby-faced. This one looks really mature. So it's kind of an interesting difference. Which one do I prefer? Probably the Diamond Select. I think it just looks a lot nicer. But you can see the bandolier there is a lot more thicker and prominent for the strap, for the boomerang. Then that's just a thin little string. So yeah, definitely iffy on that one. Definitely not sure how I feel about that. But still, the Mattel one was not a bad effort, especially for coming out back when the show was still airing. Pretty good action figure. But this one is also really good. Just has those weird quirks of like the weird super thin elbow joints. And then, you know, some limited range and then whatever the heck's going on there. And then some weird effect parts. Sounded like a pretty long list there, but believe me, I like this figure. I do. But we'll see how they stack up when McFarlane's releases finally come out. Honestly, I'm thinking McFarlane's going to be the best. Am I going to get rid of my diamond ones? No, man. I love Avatar so much. I don't mind collecting multiple lines. I love Avatar. I'll take any toys that I can get. So yeah, there's Sokka. And now let's look at Final Battle Aang. This guy's sweet. This is definitely my favorite of the two. Just because of how this looks. Like, oh my goodness. Now, I do feel like the effect parts are a little kind of, I don't know, misaligned. I feel like maybe if you heated them up and kind of got them a little more straight with each other, it would look a little better. But still, I mean, you got earth, fire, water, and... I called that fire. Earth, air, water, and fire. So, you've got, like... They look good. I do feel like air and water look pretty similar. But you can tell that's got a blue tinge. That's clear. So, you can tell... And that's got like some water splashing off of it, so it's not that bad. Now, granted, that's just an approximation of like the super awesome ball ring that he had going on. It's just an approximation of it. But it looks really cool still. And I mean, he's in the Avatar state. Let's get him down. You can just unplug him. And then this actually has a plug that goes into his back, and it has a hole already back there. So, you know, you just have that plugged in. And then it stays into the base pretty good. You have to see, though, with how much give these bases have. They have so much give. I actually have it hinged up one click. So when the figure's on it, it kind of droops. Not the best bases. But yeah, like the base figure's really good. He also comes with his glider. in his fully deployed mode. I think it's the first time we've gotten this from Diamond. So I'll probably try to use this with one of my normal Book 3 Aangs, because that looks really nice. Definitely a fan of how that looks. That looks really cool. And you do have a hole right there, so you can still have him gliding. And then you just have it in staff mode, which we've already gotten this before. That's nothing new. You have the staff mode. And then you have a lot of alternate hands that I'm just keeping in like this cup of the display stand, because he does come with that still. That's really cool. So yeah, he's got like some karate chop hands for whatever reason. He's got some open expressive hands. And he's got some gripping hands. So those are pretty good, except I don't really see the reason for the karate chop hands. And he has fist hands on him currently because, you know, he's all grr, he's all mad and everything. But yeah, man, this is a really cool Aang. You might have already noticed one awesome detail, and that's the lightning scar on his back. But not only is the lightning scar painted on, but also the hole is right in the middle of it, so it actually still looks accurate. Because, you know, he had the darker spot. And, oh, man, that's such a good decision. That works really well. I'm seriously happy about that. You can see the white lines for the avatar state look really good. Like, that arrow looks super clean. And his eyes look really serious and menacing. Man, he looks really good. He's ripped for a 12-year-old, though. Oh, my goodness, he is ripped. Can 12-year-olds even have muscle like that? I don't know. It's a cartoon. Just don't worry about it. But he does have some of the same issues as some of my previous Aangs. I was actually able to get them loosened up, but his knees were stuck. His upper knee joint was still stuck. I was able to free him up on this copy. But yeah, because, you know, they fully paint these guys. There's some stuck joints. But yeah, his articulation's not bad. He's got swivel at the waist with that nice Diamond Select squeak. Ball joint at the head. Ball hinges at the shoulders. He's got the super thin joints at the elbows. Super thin, but you can get 90 degrees. Hinges and swivels at the wrist. The hips can move forward. They can move in and out. Thigh swivel. Already saw the double jointed knee. That works real good. Even though they get really broken up if you actually look at the knee. Then you already saw the ankles. They can rock and everything. So yeah, man. Avatar State Final Battle Aang is absolutely awesome. And might be one of my favorite Aang figures in this line. Now, granted, he's always going to be displayed in just the one pose, right? I mean, come on, it's Final Battle Aang, and there is an Ozai to go with him, too. So just having him displayed like that is going to be awesome. I love it. Such a cool figure, man. But you can see, though, how the stand droops. Look at that droop just from the weight of the figure. And I have it in such a way where the hinges aren't facing forward, because if the hinges were facing forward, I think the droop might be even worse. Yeah, look. With the hinges facing forward, there's even more of a droop. So if you have the hinges facing off to the side like I do, then there isn't as much of a droop, but it's still there. There's still some droop. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind. These display bases kind of suck. But other than that, man, cool figures. Definitely Diamond Select is doing some cool stuff with this Avatar line. I would hate to see it go, because I would still like to see a few more figures in this line before it gets canceled and all that. But given how these guys are still kind of around like the 5-6 inch size, the McFarlane stuff might scale all right with it, because McFarlane's doing both the 5-inch scale and a 7-inch scale. So we'll see how things scale with all these, because the Diamond Select is scaled all right with the Mattel line. You saw with the Sokkas, they're pretty close in size, but there's other figures where the size difference is a little too drastic to really fit together. But, you know, the Mattel and the Diamond, for the most part, they've scaled. So we'll see how McFarlane works. Those should be arriving within the next, I would say, month or so. So I'm definitely excited to take a look at those, for sure. I'm definitely excited. And I'm excited to talk about them to you guys. So yeah, there we go. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This may be the last Diamond Select Avatar review. I hope it's not, but it might be, because I don't think they've revealed anything after this. So we'll see. I hope it's not. I really hope it's not, but I feel like McFarlane may have acquired the sole license. It may not be like a double duty where both McFarlane and Diamond can do their own thing. I think McFarlane just has it now. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But if this is the end of the Diamond figures, then I feel like the only thing we're really missing is a Book 1 Zuko. I'd still love to get an Uncle Iroh figure at some point. That would be great. But I mean, we got Book 1 Aang and Katara and Sokka. And we have Azula finally, and Toph and Ozai. Like, we've gotten a lot of stuff from this line, and I'm very happy that this line existed and ran for as long as it did. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what McFarlane brings to the table, for sure. Because they have a pretty solid first outing with their 5-inch stuff. I can't wait to get those. It only cost like $60 for me to pre-order the entire first wave that has Sokka, Katara, Aang, Zuko, Appa, like only about $60. So yeah, we'll definitely see, especially for how inexpensive it is, if they hold up. Alrighty guys, I've been rambling long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out to the patrons of Patreon. You guys rock. Thank you all so much for the awesome support. Alrighty guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.